I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? Welcome into Pregaming here at Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. You know the deal, rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming stays good to go. That way we don't have to get ready to go. It's all about making that cash, building these bankrolls together with this community. Just trying to make some money, trying to have some fun. Hopefully you guys had some fun this weekend. Week 18 NFL is a tricky little beast. Boy, I found the success factor. It was a great day yesterday from the NFL perspective. Any of you guys that reached out to me for the 4 o'clock games, we got some hammers down. We had a nice little start 3-1 with the afternoon plays put out there on the community post. Real simple formula. All those incentives that everybody was talking about. What are these incentives? What are those incentives? Just fade them. Just go the opposite way. That was it. Everybody knows about those incentives, and the books adjusted accordingly. Look, teams that needed to get in, the Cincinnati Bengals, look at probably not going to get in. What's the best answer for them not to get in? What we saw late night there was disappointing, disgusting. Minnesota, I was going to say the Timberwolves, then I was going to say the Wild, but the Minnesota Vikings showed us what Sam Darnold is all about. It makes me think, as I look at this NFC division that everyone is so high on. Yeah, there's two teams with excellent records, but they beat up on each other. The Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears both went 1-5 in that division. 1-5. And so you got Sammy Darnold coming out there, and he got exposed. I thought, 4 times they get to the red zone. They got nothing. Nothing. On the flip side, Gibbs goes out there, fires off a 4-pack. So you know the deal. Got to get the fade hat on here. I hate to say it, but look, Minnesota Vikings -1.5 against the LA Rams the week after the team plays the Lions. Might have to start looking at taking the old fate train. College football was a lot of fun. A lot of fun games out there moving in the playoffs. I'm curious what you guys thought about those playoffs. Kind of interesting. I mean, it's extra football. We saw the favorites just cruise control. But it was still pretty entertaining stuff. I think we did come up with maybe the best 4. Notre Dame and Penn State will be Thursday night. We'll be live streaming for that thing. Penn State, Notre Dame, we are Penn State. And then we got Ohio State and Texas will play on Friday. And boy, those lines early. You got Penn State +2.5 against Notre Dame. You got Ohio State -6 against Texas. Remember the deal. Anytime the lower seed is giving up points, the books know something, and something they very well may. So it's going to be fun to see how that evolves, how we take action when it comes to Thursday, and then we'll talk about that Friday game as well. But we got a busy week ahead. We got all kinds of things popping. We got a big NBA slate tonight. We've got a dozen games or so on pack. Smaller NHL slate today, but still, 4 games to deal with out there. We've got 3 plays in the NHL. We've got 3 plays in the NBA, maybe a money line spot if you like what I have to say. We'll cap it off with 2 games in college basketball. It was a smaller slate today. Nasty Nate says, we're working on software. To see in the chat who isn't hitting the like button. We are working on some software. We're trying to eliminate non-positive, trying to win money behavior. If you're here to do anything else, take it on down the street. That is all we will say about that. And we'll fight those battles every single day. But man, all in all, it was a good weekend. Saturday was a lot of fun. We had the doubleheader Saturday live stream. I think we got the better games. Sunday night was an absolute dud. Saturday afternoon, just a tricky little NFL card there, as it is with week 17, if that was the last week or now week 18. So it'll be interesting to see. Some early look ahead lines. They quickly moved this Philadelphia Eagles line to -4.5. I think what happened is, first and foremost, the narrative. We talked about this back in November. The narrative. don't you want to, all this international expansion, don't you think they want the Eagles to play Green Bay again after they played the first game in South America down there in Brasilia de Brazil? Oh, yeah, they did. Now they opened it up at -3.5. And then I think what happened is the bookmakers realized just how bad Green Bay Packers are. 1-5 in their division. They realized how soft them boys were. All the things that we talked about all season long. And now what's happened is within the first 24 hours, they've moved it a point. We look at the Bills and the Broncos. The Bills only laying 8.5 at home against the Broncos? Huh? Bo Nix, a rookie in the playoffs, coming into Buffalo. You know it's going to be cold, although he's used to the cold anyway. So the total's the one I've got my eyes on there, 46.5. Might be a shootout. Then we look at Saturday, kind of rolling bottom up here, I guess. Baltimore and the Steelers. I think the Steelers are cooked like the Christmas goose. Russell Wilson, he has to step up in competition. You know, there's certain things that you hear from cappers like myself that talk about some of these scheduling spots and Russell Wilson having to step up in competition. We saw him get exposed the other day. And now furthermore, we look forward and we see, well, they got to go back and play these Ravens that look damn good. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews. That squad is firing. And then we got this Chargers and Texans game. I don't know. Are the Texans going to get out of the first round? You guys think so? I'm not so bought in. I think kudos to them for making it. You're a product of your environment. Much as we talked about how soft the Packers are with all those teams in that division stinking. Well, the Bears and the Packers stinking anyways. And Darnold stinking. It was an anomaly that division got 3 in there simply because of the scheduling. But now we look at the Texans. Look, what do you got? The Colts, the Jags, and the Titans? Raise your hand if you won money consistently on those teams all season. I'm not raising my hand. I won't raise my hand for that situation. Not one bit. So the Chargers -2.5 might just be, listen, a Harbaugh in the playoffs. They love to see that kind of stuff out there. And maybe we see a situation where Herbert finally gets a little advancement in the playoffs. Who knows? I think the Texans are in trouble, but look, that's all later this week. And, oh, by the way, UFC is back. UFC Fight Night. We're going to be live streaming Saturday, 3:30 p.m. We'll get you guys first strike on Wednesday. We're back to business as usual. We get through that a couple of weeks in the holidays. You got to take a little step back, recharge, reboot, and then get ready to attack these bookies. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So I appreciate all you guys that spent the time with us over the weekend. Man, we had a lot of streams, a lot of fun times, a lot of money being made. I know a lot of you guys reached out and said, I need the UFC back. I want to win some cash. I'm with you. It was a decent weekend, but they're never as good as when we've got that instant gratification with the UFC 15 minutes in. If you want a plus 5,000, those are always kind of fun spots to be involved with. And we've hit plenty of those. So we'll look to continue that momentum in 2025. Now, we're going to start some new things. I told you there's new content coming fast and furious here. We're working on a whole bunch of things all at the same time. So bear with us as we get this thing tweaked out for you guys. But what we want to do, many of you have access to open parlays. And our cappers here at the Sports Money Squad have found a lot of success with open parlays. So we're going to start rolling those out. And we started today. We've got one that's out there in the community tab. These are very popular spots on a lot of local books. Find them in a lot of locals, a lot of offshores. FanDuel, DraftKings, like a lot of the legal ones across the country are not so hip to open parlays, but I know my bookie's got open parlays out there. I believe BetOnline has them out there. I know my locals all my locals have the open parlay options out there. And we'll scrub. We'll get you guys a full listing here. We're not sponsored by any sports book, so we really don't want to lend any affiliation to one versus the other. But the way these parlays work, we look at a 5 situation, 5 legs. So you're going to pick 2 and then have 3 open. That's how you get this parlay kicked off. These things will typically pay around 30 to 1. And it's a collaboration with the Sports Money Gang. Backstage, behind the scenes, talking about the plays they like either for that day or for the week to look aheads. And based on that, what you do is you go in, you select your play, you go over to parlay, you get the parlay side open. Then you'll see something that says open. You probably looked past it because you didn't know what it was. And you'll see open. When you click on that, that number is representing the number of open legs. So with this 5-leg parlay, we started with the Capitals tonight. and the Chargers -2.5 is that Saturday game against Houston. From there, you're going to take 3 open legs. That'll be a 5-leg parlay, and we'll fill it through the week as we see those best bets out there for everybody to take advantage of. Now, even if you can't get the open parlays, you could still consider these as best bets. The group is collabing to give you that look and focus, and the boys have been firing. Sub Club had a terrific weekend. Gonzo's model is firing. MMA Jeff's getting out there. Joe T, Keith, each and every stride. Everyone's been sharing a lot of great winning picks, player props, etc. So figure that you could use those even if you can't get open parlays as best bets. Additional plays. And we gave you guys a whole bunch of them this weekend. Sub Club went, 7-0 on Saturday? Big Saturday with the Sub Club out there. Obviously we had the live stream. We were firing, man. That live stream, we were betting. I mean, we cashed the Sharks at a +250. The list goes on and on. I'll write it down. Seems like I can really only remember the losers, but I know there were quite a few winners, and I know I made quite a few dollars. So that's the way you're going to look at these open parlays. If you haven't done them before, again, it's just basically open, meaning you've got designated legs for the future. You got a 2-legger here today with the Capitals and the Chargers -2.5. Your open is 3. That'll make it for 5 total legs. And throughout the course of the week, we will get those filled up. And typically, you'll see those pay around 30-1. It's going to vary based on the odds of the legs. Now, we're probably not going to come in here and give you guys a -250. You're probably not going to see that in the open parlay, right? But unless we get to the last leg and it's really beefy and juicy, we talk about that. At the same time, 25 and 30-1 is usually the range that you'll see within these things. So we're going to share a collaboration of best bets to help you guys fill open legs of the parlay as another source to build our bankrolls. Why not? And I do recommend that you take a look around and find which books will allow for open parlays because they're a lot of fun. You don't have to force yourself through a tight card on a Tuesday for a 4-leg parlay. You can maybe pick one of those bets and then fill it up tomorrow and the day after and the day after, and then restart and reboot. Not quite a carryover. A carryover in that situation would be, hey, we won this parlay, this leg today. Now we're going to take the 1 unit we won plus the 1 unit we invested. We're going to put 2 units on it tomorrow. And if that wins, we're going to put 4 units on it. That's a carryover. Open parlay is a little bit different. So appreciate you guys bearing with me as we talk about that. Let's get to work. Lots of action on the card tonight. Want to make sure you guys have plenty of time to get it in. And before we do, this is the portion of the show. We need your help. We need you guys to help promote the brand. Help us continue to grow this thing. Lots of haters out there. But we know you guys in this community are here built with trying to have some fun, trying to build some bankrolls, trying to get that additional compensation in our lives to have more fun. Maybe it's a vacation. Maybe it's some new furniture. Maybe it's maybe it's a jet ski that you want for the summer. That's what we're here to try to help you guys do, is to try to build some supplemental life income with experienced cappers that leverage tools and technology along with their experience and expertise to give you guys more winning bets. And all we ask you to do in return, hit the thumbs up button. So if you haven't done so already, close that chat, hit the thumbs up, pop that chat back open, and we will get to work. Right. Let's go. Guys, make sure you know the deal here. Get the pen and paper out. It's best bet time from our chat. Trends, angles, injury updates, all those things that you need to know. Maybe circle head dates on the calendar to help you guys make better bets today, tomorrow, and in the future. And all we ask you to do is share your best bets in the chat. That way we can recognize what you guys are on here. And commenter number 1 is Joe T. Jover, J-Ove, whatever you want to call it. But he's on them overs. His assault on the unders continues and shows no mercy. He's looking at the Capitals and Sabres. He's got both teams to score in the first period. A beefy plus 155. Rick J thinks it's a good king spot tonight, is what it says. I'll paraphrase. He thinks it's a good king spot. Shout out to Keith. I know he's out there. Some great shots. He was out there with the straps earlier today. And like the Raptors, Bucks struggle to cover on 1 day's rest. Oldie, Nicholas Handy's in the house. Nicholas Handy won himself a t-shirt over the weekend in our giveaway. Elliot Jameson says, I'm not taking the Raptors. Shout out to Barry in the house. Let's go. Elliot's taking the Bucks. Shout out to Morgan Spooner. There's Robert McCormick in the house. Morgan Spooner says, here's my NCAA basketball card. Rutgers +2. Rio Grande Valley money. Prairie View +4.5. Grambling State +4. And Ohio State -5. That's a 5-leg parlay right there. 1, 2, 3. I like all of those spots. Morgan Spooner, good luck, my friend. You and I are in sync and ready to roll. Let's go. Rick J is in the house. Says, really want to take Stephen F. Austin, but will probably stay off. They're going to score 40 points at a minimum. Is 40 points enough, though, is my question. I looked at that game. Good, long, and hard. Irish King, Joe W's here. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. Jerry Davis. Let's go, Morgan Spooner. I'm with you. Everything but Grambling, says Jerry Davis. Stop Geo's in the house. Let's go. Good luck on your slips, he says. Jerry Davis says, on everyone except Grambling is what he meant. Stop Geo's reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate all you guys rocking here. Let's go. Let's see what else we have in the chat. James Parham is here. Likes the Cougars first half. It's a big spread. -18.5. Cougars TCU. There's Subhuman Gaucho. Big weekend for Sub with that 7-0 Saturday with the Sub Club. His name is Sub. And he popped out some dubs for you guys. Let's go. Chris Sala's in the house. He likes Montana State -3. Okay. Stop Teal. Locking in Josh Hart over 9.5 rebounds. Man, you got to take Josh Hart's double-double, brother. He's got like 6 of his last 7 games. Oh, and look, he says cash 6 of his last 7 games. Cap potentially out or limited. Rick J says Steelers can't cover out routes. Steelers are in trouble, even with a suspect passer like Lamar Jackson. Although Lamar Jackson did set history on the live stream. What was it? The first quarterback to pass for over 4,000 yards and rush for over 800 yards in a season? I believe my short-term memory is correct. What's up, Flea Mathis? There's Tarek B. Worried about my Commanders against Tampa. You know, that's fair. The Baker Mayfield has done exceptionally well against the NFC East. I just remember him thrashing the Eagles 2 years in a row. Jerry Davis says Texas Southern off the home loss is why I'm backing him. Bo Jackson says, plus we got UFC this weekend. Can't wait, man. Hell yeah, man. Let's go. Jerry Davis not happy about what's going on with Norfolk State. Yeah. Rick J, I don't know if he's pointing out yeah, okay, so you guys are working together. Can you explain the open parlay? Yeah. Hopefully that helped the early conversation earlier here. Just leaving designated legs that you will have to fix. You will have to fill. But you don't have to fill them all today. That's what the benefit is. The open parlays are. I know a lot of guys that will not. Hell, MMA Jeff will. He'll keep an open parlay rolling for a month till he finds all the spots that he wants to use to fill it. And it might have a couple going simultaneously, but that's the way it goes. That's the way you can leverage those things. Just another avenue to sports bet. We'll help with the education and introducing some of you guys to some new concepts as we continue this year. That's part of our commitment here, is to find more opportunities, share just more ways that we go out there, strategies that we utilize to cash bets daily. Shout out to Justin McKelvey. Sports money is money. Todd Clinton. It's conference time. They're conference time, and they got a lot of experience against each other. They'll typically play twice a year, and so they have a lot of experience. Jay's got no legs. You got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Okay, let's go. What do we got going on here? Let's see what else is in the chat. Man, I watched the game go over in college basketball in the last 5. Yeah. Those are killers, aren't they? J-Main likes Sabonis with the triple-double. That's not a bad look either. Shout out to JP's. He's in the house. Says, what's up, motherfuckers? Then Duff says, 10 inches of snow here in Indiana. Shoveling my ass up. Man, I got like 1 inch of snow. I mean, I guess I am a little disappointed. Look at this. Raptors 3-0-1 against the spread on Mondays. Nut Flush Allen's in the house. What up? Nut Flush Allen. My friend, it's good to see you. Ron Lofton. Barreling him out there for us here. 8 and over 23.5 points and rebounds. Tyus Jones over 13.5 points and assists. Montana first half -3 college football. TCU first half plus 10.5. Early night action for our friend Ron Lofton. Thank you for sharing. Dana Dupp likes Rutgers money line. I like that Rutgers spot a lot tonight. Was it Minnesota, right? Minnesota on the road, bad. Rutgers home, good. Shout out to Ramon Scott, says my Padres in ownership disaster, about to head to the toilet like the old days. Wife of recently deceased owner Sue's brother for control of club. Team has signed no free agents this off season. Double plus 115, so it kind of felt like I was workhorse for them. All right, I get it. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. There we go. Nutflush Allen says moved on double result on Montana State. That would be first half full game. And Chris Sella, progressive parlays are available on the DK phone app. That is good to know. Damon Waring says, hello, Cappers, let's go. Sir Mackey loves pie. The eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Let's go. Tarek B says, Spurs tonight. Appreciate you guys, man. Let's get to work, huh? Bo Jackson likes the Bulls tonight. Jerry Davis says, Ramon Scott. It's a Dodgers fan. I really hate that for you. That's part of the fun, isn't it? We all get to talk a little smack about each other's teams and conference and divisional spots as well. So that's what makes sports so much fun. We can all get together looking at the same thing at the same time. Very rarely in today's day and age do you get the opportunity to see all the same things at the same time. Bet Stamp Friday follow-up. You can follow me at Mikey Money. Lost a unit on Friday. Wasn't glorious by any stretch. We had a couple half-unit day gains. All in all, from Monday to Sunday, it was almost 7 units of growth shared by yours truly here. But Friday, we had the Charlotte Hornets cover that +7. The Minnesota first half was a disgusting over in that Virginia Tech, Minnesota college football game. Montreal Canadiens, La Habitants, they lost 4-2 to Chicago. I don't know what happened there. But the Blues busted up Ottawa 4-0 there. Got that one for us. Man, the one that surprised me the most, still leaves a dent as I was looking back through it. The Wizards, +7.5. They were winning that game outright, like 3/4 of that game. And then the final quarter, they get thumped by the Pelicans, 132-120. Our parlay, Cleveland and Denver, did not cash. But our parlay that did cash was the Edmonton first period -0.5 and the under 6.5. And that was a +2.74 units. Last but not least, Nashville did not go over. So that happens. Going to fight the fight. Rallied on Saturday, rallied on Sunday, and we're going to fire it today. So let's get ourselves to work and let's open it up. Put the skates on. Got to pay attention when my guy Nutflush Allen comes in here talking about this Montana State. Says if they stall on the first drive, pay attention to the live team total. They scored 30 or more points in every game. All right. That's a FCS situation. That's the championship in FCS for anybody that was curious. Montana State. I like Montana State. I like their team total over. How possible you guys think it is to get an NBA home team parlay tonight? NBA home team parlay tonight, huh? Let's see. Let's get to work and we can see what that. I think it's possible for sure. I think there's some good spots out there on the home side. Curious why you choose the home. Why does it have to be a home spot? But everyone's got their own reasons. I'm very curious why that has to be the case on a Monday. Like a Friday or a Saturday, I could say, okay, maybe. But we'll talk about it. I think I got a couple spots I might be able to help you out with here. Keeping this brisk pace, we're rolling here. We've got Charlie Lindgren starting for the Washington Capitals. He's 10-8 on the season. 2.7 goals against average, 89.8% save percentage. Serviceable. Capitals have gone points in 3 straight games, 2-0-1. Jukka-Pekka Luukkonen starting for the Buffalo Sabres, 11-12-4. 3.07 goals against average, 89.4% save percentage. Serviceable. 2 goalies ranking serviceable. We've got Lindgren allowing 3 or more goals in 3 straight games. Then we look at the Sabres side of things. Big dogs at home, Sabres dropped 16 of their last 19. So they're trying to get themselves back. They had a 3-game winning streak in that that just disaster, I guess is the best way to put it. And now they're getting outscored 13-8 in their last 3 games as well. Luukkonen, 6 goals on 29 shots, 6-5 overtime loss in Colorado. That had to be a heartbreaker. I know Jeff was out there giving out plus 450s, I think it was, because he knows the deal. Even if the Sabres start early, live bet the other side. They're losers. I hate to say it. Organization's just not moving in the right direction. And that vote of confidence that they're not moving in the right direction was when the ownership flew up to Montreal and said, we're not making changes. This is the team you got. The answer's in this locker. And they've won 3 games and they're back to their losing ways. So for what it's worth, here we go. Chapiadora POD is the Vancouver NHL money line. I like that play, strategic investments. I do. I do like Vancouver. I know, but the problem I have with Vancouver is the players that are missing. We talked about it last week. Until those guys come back, I don't know how you play on them, but I'll tell you it's not a good spot for them. We'll talk about that in a second. But at the end of the day, for me in this game, the way that I chose to attack it is I'm going to go on this total. I just talked about 2 serviceable goalies. How about the home game back from Vegas factor? Let's not forget, when you're the home team back from Vegas, the over is 12-1-1 if it's an East Coast team. Tired legs, long road trip, partying extra hard in Vegas, not focused when they first come back home, having to run around and do all the errands that come back from a road trip itself. 12-1-1 to the over in those spots out there. I got a 6. I took the over 6. I was comfortable with that. I think we see some goals in this game. Tage Thompson, always good for a goal. And Washington, one of the higher scoring teams in the, I still can't believe I'm saying it. Now, I did beat up on Pittsburgh being old man time, fighting with Washington to be the oldest team. Keep an eye on the Penguins. Chris Letang is back, activated, and ready to roll. And Jerry Davis says, I'm taking a guess over 6 in caps. Strategic Investments likes the under 128.5. This is trend. I love it. Yeah, you got to love that. 12-1-1, man. There's something about that Vegas flu. Vegas flu is a real thing here. And we'll pop off the card with a little over action. Now we'll move on to game number 2. We got the Florida Panthers and we've got the Colorado Avalanche. Oh, I need to still make this better. What's going to happen is I'm going to find a better streamer before we get all this bullshit worked out with all the buttons that have to be pushed on StreamYard. Thanks to the fine folks at StreamYard for billing very timely every single month. Never miss a beat, even on holiday weekends. The Florida Panthers pop off, and they're going to host the Colorado Avalanche are going to host the Florida Panthers. We got a goaltending battle. Look, everyone thinks Colorado's the city of overs, and they were for a minute. They had those injuries. Don't forget, they were 2 lines shorted back around October, beginning of November. But we've got a potential playoff matchup in the works, and I always like to point those out because then what you see is these teams do give a shit. And they're showing it by starting their best goaltenders. Bobrovsky will start for Florida, 17-8, 2.78 goals against average, 89.9% save percentage. Now, I know that falls under serviceable bucket, but he had a bad start to the year. His last game, he made 37 saves on 39 shots against the Carolina Hurricanes. It was a loss. He lost, but he still saved almost 40 pucks out there. I think the reason I point that out is because he's really got nowhere to go but up. And if you look at it, 10 goals in the past 5 games for the Florida Panthers means they're sitting there around a 2 goals against average. Now you're rolling into Colorado. They're firepower. They've got 4 or more goals in 6 of their last 7, and they're 6-0-1. Mackenzie Blackwood, look it. His record's 12-10. I got it. Goals against average 2.65, 91.6. Not quite elite. I think a rung above serviceable. But what's important and impressive about that is it was with San Jose Sharks that he played a lot of that time. So we go back to this guy that's got that new lease on life. Did have a shutout loss to the Canadiens. 22 of 23 saves. Not his, isn't his fault. We see the Avs were scoring like crazy. They play a Canadiens team that started running hot. And I think the challenge here is, can the Florida Panthers score enough goals when it comes to playing this Colorado Avalanche team that's firing right now? They're not showing any ability to do so right now. And the Florida Panthers have failed to cover the puck line in each of their last 9 night games after a shootout win. That's a +1.5 that they're not covering in this spot. We got a penalty minutes trend as well. When the team is averaging more penalty minutes, as long as they're not on a back-to-back situation, they're just 35 and 118. Makes sense. Getting too many penalties. Playing stupid. Now you're playing a home favorite. That home favorite, I should have clarified, is in that 118 and 35 position. Big battle. Goaltenders, I think, are going to come to play in this game. And I think we do see a lower scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 2-1, 3-1 type of environment. Maybe even in overtime. I do like the under, but I love the Colorado Avalanche spot. At home, healthy, ready to roll. And they got their guy, Blackwood. I can't believe that's their guy, but it is. And he's been finding a way to capitalize on it. So we'll back him. They got him at a -123, which I thought was a reasonable number as well. Irish King says, look, he was playing for a bad New Jersey team. And he was playing for a bad San Jose team. Now he's on a team that is kissing his feet because they finally got a goaltender besides those pile of less than serviceable guys that they had. Strategic investments. Panthers, huh? There you go. There you go. That's a good one. Panthers take penalties. Give him a car to hammer one. You know, it's funny because sometimes you look at the trend and it makes sense when you read it aloud. You're like, well, yeah, of course, the team that's taking more penalties is losing games. They're not playing discipline. And you're going to go on the road and fight a team in Colorado that's got the elevation factor to it as well. I'll take a shot. We'll take the Colorado Avalanche. Florida Panthers got to show me. I don't think they're in the show me state, but they're going to have to show me for me to buy in. And then the last one I got for you guys in the NHL, going to go over to that late night special between the Devils and the Kraken. Devils will start Jacob Markstrom. Unconfirmed, but probable. 2.18 goals against average, 91.1% save percentage. Not quite elite, but certainly above serviceable. And they're catching 19, 8, and 2 as a record with this guy in the pipes. The other side of things, the Kraken fighting out there with Grubauer in net. And Grooves, is he hurt? Is he not? I don't know. Day to day, you never know what's going on with this dude, but he's 5'11 and 1. I know that. I know the Devils are a big favorite, expecting that they're going to put a whooping up on these boys. Joey DeCourt's sideline now. So this Seattle team's challenge is that they alternate which goalie is going to be hurt today. And Grubauer, 5th straight start. This is trouble because this is where the tread comes off the tires. 3.47 goals against average and an 87.9% save percentage. Not good by any stretch. And here's the thing, though. Could this be a break? Could this be a little tricky break spot? 24, 15, and 3 are the New Jersey Devils. They're on a 4-game losing streak. They went on this road trip so they played a couple games at home going into the holidays. They had the home and home against Carolina. They finished Carolina December 27th, 4-2. They go back to Carolina for the second leg of the home and home. They lose 5-2. Then they lose to Anaheim 3-2 at Anaheim. Then they get shut out by LA 3-0. Then they lose to the Sharks, those lowly San Jose Sharks 3-2. We were on the Sharks. It was a big Shark spot. Remember, it was a 15 and 13 trend, but we saw 2.5 times our money and said, that's the ROI you got to take a shot with. And now they're playing the Kraken. One more game will be against the Rangers before they get themselves back home, but this will be their last time in the Pacific Northwest, in the Pacific Division, for the majority of the rest of their schedule. So going to be interesting to see how they roll, but at the end of the day, there's a trend with the New Jersey Devils and the Pacific, and it's been rolling through this road trip as well. When they're non-conference on the road with a 6 or less in the Pacific, the under has hit 10 times out of the last 13 spots. They've been an under team right now, struggling to score. Now, they do have the stronger goaltender in goal. But roll it up, fire it down. We got a New Jersey Devils under 6 position out there. Trend shows against that Pacific division, it's just lower scoring. And what a spot, because they are in lower scoring mode right now to begin with. It's a terrific opportunity here. I love all three of these spots. Obviously, this is a minus 114. I was able to catch this one at. But that's going to do it for the NHL. That will do her in the NHL. We will move on. Well, look at this. There we go. Let's get it on the screen. See what's going on in the chat. This is a little player parlay, boys and girls. A little player parlay. Give you some explanation behind it. Shout out to AOD in the house. Jay Main says, I know he 5'11" and 1. Wow. Wonderful covered by that sucks, man. Stern Company likes the Montana State minus 2.5 or 3 in the first half. I really like that Makar power play situation out there. I think that's a good look. T Moss in the house. Canceling memberships. What are you canceling? Let's go. What do we got? Where are we at? Get this out there so you guys get a chance to look at it here. Look, you guys know the deal. And he just came off of missing. But they priced it even higher than his previous line. Priced at minus 140s, 150s, and 160s. Look, you got to figure out how you want to attack something like this. This is my guy. I've been on him. I've been riding with him, and I don't want to get off the bus just yet. I'll see how it goes a little bit more. Here's the thing. He's gotten the number 6 of his last 8. He's averaging 32 minutes a game. He's played 31 minutes or more in 9 straight games. And he's the perimeter guy. So he's got attempted 27 threes over his last 4 games. It's not time to go away. And now, even though he missed that last number, the books moved the line up. He's got the minutes. He's got the opportunities. He's coming off of just missing after he's a consistent shooter in that percentage process or that bucket. There's no reason not to take a shot. But I add Scotty Barnes to the equation. He's one of our guys. He wears the sports money sweater. I don't know if he does, but I don't even think we have a sports money sweater. But if we did, I'd give one to him. Because this guy's we covered him last year. He was our rebounding guy last year. Remember, we went on like a 12 out of the 15 games, we hit his rebound prop, I think was the number. Kind of like the Voos factor that we caught this year. But what we've got going on now is the situation this guy plays with RJ Barrett out. Watch what he's done. Go back and look. He's getting shots. He had 20 points his last game. They had his number at 17.5 and 18.5. He's gone over those numbers. He's gotten 20 or more points in 4 of his last 6, and he plays a lot of minutes. He's over 34.5 minutes a game. Now, some of you guys like Toronto tonight. I am agnostic to the side. That means I don't care. I wish you guys loved it. Do have plays in this battle. But a plus 227 if you slap those two boys together, over 19.5 points for Barnes and Voos to get our threes, over 1.5 threes, plus 227. Those are the kind of shots that we want to take, that we want to make. What's going on with you guys here, huh? Yeah, the whole gang is here, man. They all assemble here. Best of the business come right here. Morgan Spooners is my vocab word of the day. Just from my previous life. Some of these guys talk about doesn't matter. The tools, technology, and expertise. I'm just borrowing that from a statement we used to make 15 years ago. But never more relevant than it is right now. And I'm gonna go with the boys. I'm gonna go with the boys. That's gonna be a plus 227 parlay. That's full unit. These are. I think you just got to take a shot with these fits. Where they fit, where they make sense. We got to take a shot and run with it, and we'll pay the price to see. If we catch that thing, it's going to be 2.25. You'll see in a minute. We've got another parlay that will trying to get us there as well. Look, I'm a little mad at myself here. I've been trying to be a better steward of time management and giving you guys opportunities to get these in and get it tracked. And unfortunately, I paid the price today. Now, you guys know the deal for me. I'm not a big injury guy. It doesn't matter to me who's in, who's out. I do believe that stuff's typically baked into the line. And if you want a proof source, here's this Sixers game rolls out. Embiid's out. The line moved. Well, now it's moved a lot. When they first made the announcement, here's the deal. It was 3. Then they made the announcement that he's out. It went to 1. Now, since then, in the last hour, it's gone to +2. I get it now. 5 points is more the Embiid number, in my opinion. But when they first made the announcement, it only went down 2 points. That's an indication that it's already baked in. We've got 60% of the bets, 47% of the cash on the Sixers. It's kind of irrelevant because we can explain the movement, right? We know that's Embiid's out of this thing. You can explain the movement. You can kind of check it off or at least minimize its importance as you wait the opportunity in playing these games. Suns and Sixers total has dropped like a rock again. 86% of the bets, 82% of the cash on the over. It's gone down to 221.5. Just keeping this brisk pace for everybody here today. Sixers found that win against Brooklyn. Man, they had a hell of a road trip. Coming out of Christmas, they've just been road. They had a Utah game. They picked up the win against Utah. They picked up the win against Portland. They did not against Sacramento. They did not against Golden State. They got busted up by 34 points, but they bounced back against the Nets. Important note with the Nets, they were 9. The Sixers, they were laying in 9 spot, and they bullied them up. 123-94. One of the best teams in the NBA. I'm doing research, helping you guys maybe thinking about some other spots. A home team that you're looking for that parlay might very well have to be the Brooklyn Nets. When they're double-digit dogs, they stomp on teams. I don't know if they win outright, but they should be able to cover at 12.5. On the other side of things, the Suns have lost 4 straight games out there, including a 126-108 battle 2 days ago against the Indiana Pacers. I know, Embiid's out. I got it. I get it right here. I get it sent right to me as soon as that shit happens. But we talk about divisions, we talk about conferences, and we talk about matchups. Teams are generally built to compete within themselves in divisions. That's why it's so troubling to see a Green Bay Packers and a Chicago Bears finish in the division at the same record. Red flag. But as we transition to basketball, that's relative because when we look at the Phoenix Suns, Booker, Durant or not, don't matter. They lost their last 10 games against the Eastern Conference. And on the flip side, this team needs to start winning or this thing is over. 29-point beatdown against the Nets, as I just mentioned. They're 15-0 against the spread when they're favorites of less than 8 points, and they're covering off a win of 15 or more points. Non-conference dogs in general, the Suns are 0-7. They're getting busted up by 12 points a game in those spots. The Sixers in their revenge with rest in the small favorite role. Now they're a small dog. 16-0. They're busting teams up by 13.5 points. So as much as that's not current number where you see that +2, keep in mind it was -1. Track the shit all day. It was -1 as soon as they made the Embiid announcement. So they were 16-0 in those spots. All that stuff put together to me says, give me the Sixers. Like I said, I got the worst number. I got it. I logged it. I own it. I bet it. You guys can catch a +2. I'd consider the money line at this point. At least you can comfortably sit back. Well, it's never comfortable, right? But a +120 on a money line for the Sixers. Oh, but there's no Embiid. I got it. The line moved 2 points. 2 points. This is the end of the public just realizing that Embiid's out right now. Those 3 points. So somewhere in there, probably an outright lead, outright win, but not covering the 3 would probably be my luck. Who's hating? Who is hating? Oh, let me find out who's hating. Like the thing that you on top of is movement. None of us really be on it. I appreciate that, Nanya. I watch this stuff all day. I want to come in and help you guys make some of the best decisions. I want news hating. I'm ready, fire, aim. I told you that. Ready, fire, aim. And if I made a mistake, I'll own it. Somebody tell me. Somebody DM me. I don't care. I'm sure Nasty Nate's on it. Justin McCalvey says they're +2. Is he? Is he? All right. Well, all right. Look, I would rather be wrong and have shot than I'd rather be wrong and block than sit around and wait and let people just soil this positive thing that we are trying to build. That's right. And it's our thing. So no one's going to tell me I can't. Let's go. Okay. Here's that game I was telling you guys about where we've got another parlay opportunity in this one. And there's a couple of ways to play this. So for you guys, I'm just going to share with you how I went about it. And then you guys can decide if there's any merit in the opportunity here. But look, we're trying to fire some of these shots that are going to help us grow the bankroll because we do have these middling days. And we got to find those spots where we go from middling to where we can really capitalize. Like, look at Friday. Yeah, we got that Edmonton big banger there for almost 3 units. We still lost a unit on the day, but it keeps you in the hunt. And it's all about trying to find those right opportunities to smash on to kind of make those calculated decisions. So, as I'm looking at the Clippers game, this one started at +3. We've got 60% of the bets and 60% of the cash on the Clippers. Then we got a total that's on the climb from 211.5 to 214.5. And it's got 75% of the bets and 72% of the cash on the over. When we look at the recent situations here with Minnesota, look, it ain't pretty. 3 straight losses. Now, granted, they've had kind of a bad schedule. They've had road, home, road, home, road, home. They played on the road against Houston. They got to win. +1. Boy, they needed it too because they weren't covering if they didn't. Then they go against the Spurs. They take the win. They do not cover. They play OKC. They get busted up. They were even getting 6.5 points. That was on the road. Then they play Boston. They push. So the Timberwolves have been playing tightly lined situations here. They lost outright their most recent at Detroit. 119-105. I want to play Detroit tonight, or I want to fade Detroit tonight, just for side note, just while we're talking about some of these other spots. Detroit's 0-32 overall, 1-29 against the spread when they've got rest and they're not a 12-point dog coming off a game where they covered by 14 or more points. So it's kind of a situation like that Sixers game. They're also lost 7 of their last 8 at home against Western Conference. So there's that fit. When you're playing against a non-con, how do you play? And they suck at home. Here's the problem. Maybe it's not factually accurate, but I believe wholeheartedly in the hot city theory. If you've been in a metropolitan city that's got major sporting events, when one team gets hot, the whole damn city becomes a sports fan, and now they're looking for anything they can do to root for that city. The Lions just won the conference for the first time in their league history. You don't think that city's fired up? You see Eminem at the show last night at the game itself. The crowd was going fucking bananas. So I can't get involved with that Detroit team, or I can't fade that Detroit team. They should lose, and it's an 0-32 spot. But here's the one: as the home favorite, when they're laying less than 7.5 points, the Timberwolves are 0-11. They do just enough to sneak by, and that's evidence, as we talked about, by their spread, their lack of covering. 0-4, their last 4 games against the spread. Then we got the Clippers. Look, they just came off that big win at home against Atlanta. That was an interesting spot because that was the 3 games on the road, the Pelicans, the Spurs, and then OKC. And they stopped back home for a cup of coffee to beat up on the Falcons, or once we slim down some of these sports, I'll be better. The Hawks, right? The Hawks. 131-105. They beat the absolute shit out of them. Important to note, the game went over. The Clippers on the road have been an under team. In fact, the Clippers' last 7 games as road dogs have gone under the total. On the road, they love their unders. I just talked about how the Timberwolves are doing barely enough to get by, and they're certainly not covering spreads. I put those two together. I got the Clippers. I got the under 214.5. That's the Clippers money line, and it's the under 214.5. As I looked at these games, I thought, look, you can take the plus 2.5. I think this is an outright win spot for the Clippers. The fact that they just went back home in my mind and they picked up that win again, that was an easy fuck off. Atlanta's nobody. They could have just moved on and passed it. The Clippers, they got on the shit list early. They got themselves off because they've been playing some basketball lately. And you got to give a team an opportunity to get off the shit list. The plus 115s, plus 117s are out there on the money line. But because of how poorly the Timberwolves have been performing in these spots, collectively with their margin of victory or lack thereof, I thought the 214 made sense. And the fact that this line opened up at 211.5 and they skirted it up 3 points to us tells me that the public was scared. They saw this 211, and if you watch some of these 210s and 212s, they have been going over. So they moved this almost a teaser amount for us to 214.5, and I was comfortable playing it this way. You could play it all three ways, I guess. I don't see anything wrong with that. T-Moss says, must have been confused with someone else. All right. I hope so. We all here to make money. That's what we're here to do. Shout out to Cameron Sinnett. He's dono $9.99. Dono says it's fucking cold out. When can we buy sports money hoodies? Should have an announcement coming by the end of the week. Kind of phase 2 of our continued build out. The last one drove everybody fucking crazy. Everyone got psyched up when they found out we're getting into the sponsoring athletes we believe in business. But wait till this next announcement comes down the pike. And it's not just hoodies. There's so much more wrapped into it. So believe you me, that's a little sneak peek, a little teaser. And I'm hoping that by the end of the week, I can confidently make that announcement for you guys. It's busy. I had a call today. Just trying to find. I don't want to sneak it. There's a lot of copycats in this game, and just know we're just trying to give you guys better experience all around for everything that we do when it comes to the sports money crew. Trying to give you guys better experience all around. So a sports money beanie would be nice. All right. Noted. I take that under advisement. Let's go to college hoops. All right. So the first number is their record. Their second number is their conference record. That'll be the situation now that we've got all these teams in conference play moving forward. If it's a situation where they're playing a non-con and a neutral site or something, then I'll make sure to note that for you guys. But as we move forward, just take a look at these numbers and know that the first number is their record. The second number is their conference record. And we've got this line not moving a bit. TCU, the Horned Frogs. I don't know how the hell did they become the Horned Frogs. That's what I want to know. Can anybody give me a history lesson in how they became the Horned Frogs? Because I'm all about education. I want to learn. 95% of the bets and 94% of the cash are on the TCU Horned Frogs. Is it Horned Frogs? Horned Frogs? It's the Horned Frogs, right? Let's go. Appreciate you guys that want to want to rep the gear. I appreciate that, man. We appreciate you guys. We want you to rep the gear. Prefer to let the chat hash it out and come to a conclusion on their own for me. But we got this TCU spot, and the line hasn't moved. Everybody, the world is on TCU, has not budged. Then we got a total that started at 127.5. We have 65% of the bets and 62% of the cash on the over, and yet it's not moving much. In fact, 1 point to 128.5. I thought long and hard about this one. 18.5 is a lot of number to cover. Against the spread at home, Houston's just 6-5. TCU's 1-3 on the road. It's the fact that this line hasn't moved all damn day. Our boy, if the price is right, he's willing to get a tattoo on his back. Maybe we do a fundraiser. Nasty Date says T-Moss is good. Okay. Respect. appreciate all you guys coming in, man. Appreciate you guys rocking with us here. I've never seen anything but good stuff from T-Moss, so I appreciate that, you guys. Appreciate it. Let's keep it. We'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt until I got to come in and fucking regulate, and then I get pissed. I don't want to have to do that. So let's all go. Let's all operate like we want to make some money. Had 7 units last week. Want to roll that thing up this week and smoke it. TCU is trash, oldie. Way to put that out there, but 54 is crazy. Low team total. That points up. Well, here's the deal. Kirk says tramp stamps. What do we know about Houston? They got the best home court situation maybe rolling in the country. Maybe. Virginia at home, very difficult. That's a very nice under program. All these Houston spots in the unders. Here's the thing. The last game for Houston, they played BYU. It was 86-55. They rolled. They steamrolled. On the flip side, TCU, this is one of those spots that we look for. They just came off a big win against K-State. They didn't cover, but it was a big win against K-State. Sports Money mouse pad is going to have to be in order here because this one's falling apart. I don't know the last time anybody else has bought a mouse pad, but it's not something high on the list of shit I want to buy. Nonetheless, TCU, K-State, big win, 63-62. Now they're traveling into the pits of hell when it comes to what this Houston team can do. And look, Houston goes on the road. They had their first battle test in the Big 12. They kicked the snot out of Oak State. It was a big number at 12. They won by 13. So they got it. But they come back home and they bust up on BYU. 86-55 was downright disrespectful. I was a little concerned because that TCU total is low. And for what it's worth, as you look at some TCU spots in the game, TCU, 6 road games at night against conference opponents have gone over the number, 143. Yikes. But again, here's Houston. Houston coming in representing at home has won 52 straight night games. Normally, you guys know the situation. I like to try to attack a subpar school when it comes to being on the road at Houston in the first half. But I'm a little scared of that number. So what I did is I went to first half under. Remember, just last year, we were seeing 56.5, 57.5, 58.5 for this BYU school. Their home dominance, the TCU, I just don't believe in TCU, but I went to the under in the first half for 60.5 strategically because if it does take Houston a little bit longer to blow this thing out, if I can catch a live line at halftime around -12, I don't know why that's the number I have in my head, but if I can find a -12, that'll be a price that I want to strike on. And so regardless of what happens in this first half of 60.5, I want to go look for that second half at the -12. And if that means that I'm looking to press and go up 2 units on this game, so be it. But it still gives me the opportunity. I think the only reason we don't cover the first half is because that live line is Houston -12.5 at halftime. But my concern about the big number as this game paces out is Houston gets up so many points, they check out, and then, we see a situation where they do end up covering by 13 like they did on the road against Oak State. It is a Monday, so as loud as it's going to be at home, it's a Monday. Some of that factors in a little sleepy hangover day after the 2 back-to-back weekends out there and or back-to-back holiday week spots there. I think Houston should overpower this team. There's no question about it. I think it's a good spot coming off that big K-State win that they can go out and get thumped. I just don't think TCU matches up well. I think the ball screen and some of that off-screen coverage that TCU puts out there is going to get snuffed out early by Houston, and that's strategically why I played the first half under 60.5, not the full game, because I want the -12 at halftime if that's the case. And if it's not, if it's 18 or 19 or 20, then I'll probably just take my 1 unit and move on. It's hard enough to catch wins, right? You guys know that. It's hard to get those W's in our pockets. So you don't want to, if you get one, you don't want to give it back. The 1-1 stuff sucks. I hate coming in here 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Like we're middle in here, we're middle in there. We want to get this cash and we want to move it in the right direction. So, nice. Elliot Jameson coming through. Okay, last game I got for you guys on the card. You guys mentioned this one earlier. I'm eager to watch this game. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I mean, what else we got? We got a couple hockey games on. Those will make some screens. This game starts at 9 p.m. It's Grambling State. It's Texas Southern. Again, you guys know the deal. The first number is their record. The second number is their conference record. And we got 56% of the bets and 57% of the cash have hit Grambling State from plus 3.5 to plus 4.5. Now they're coming in. Ooh. Shout out to my guy, Ramon Scott. The Morning Steam. Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week. You can find my brother out there doing his thing. 9 a.m. here at Sports Money. It says, Sea Towns leg out tonight versus Orlando. I saw on my sharp betting report, I know Ramon gets the Steam reports in the morning, which is so helpful when you guys start, when you start looking for how these lines are moving. That's kind of one of those key tools that I leverage when I hear Ramon Scott. But I did see the Magic at plus 12.5 on the sharp report, probably around 5, I don't know, quarter after 5 or so today, Eastern, quarter after 5 Eastern. 137.5 has moved to 139s on the, oh, no, it hasn't. Sorry. Well, where'd it go? Where'd you go, Grandma? 136.5 has not moved. 59% of the bets and 59% of the cash on Grambling State. These are two shit teams. There's no question about it. And in a battle of the shitbags, I want to get the points. I do. Now, AOD says, Ramon Scott, running so hot. Damn right, man. Fun hanging out with Ramon on Saturday night. He was fired up. He was dialed in. He was sharing them bombs. You got to look for a trend to start. You got to find something to sink your teeth into. And again, the points. This is a spot where Grambling's won 10 road night games against the conference. We're at conference play time. It's important. I'm not enamored with the size that we see out of Texas Southern, and they're not scoring enough points. Their last game played Southern University. They scored 58. Their defense gave up 67. They were only 1.5-point dogs. They were getting busted up at halftime, 29-21. To me, it's a one-horse pony. It's Zaire Hayes. This guy rolls 19 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist against Southern. And you're going to have, they're two bad teams. You got to have more than just one dude rolling punches out there. Granted, they just came back off of a massive road trip and had that first game against Southern. So I will say the toughest place to play is obviously that first game back home after a lengthy road trip. But I think this is a Grambling State team that might feel like they can go out there and get this one. They've got no problem playing on the road at night in the conference, having won 10 in a row. You look at Texas Southern, they're not just bad. They're not good against bad teams. They're 1-6 in their last 7 against non-ranked opponents. They've lost the first half 4 of their last 5, which is so big against non-ranked opponents because we just saw it with Southern. They're falling behind early, and they can't catch back up. They just don't have enough depth because they're a one-school pony, a one-trick pony. And that is Hayes. So I got to take the points in my back pocket. I'll take the 4. I think this is a live dog spot and then some. I think there's absolutely an opportunity for Grambling to come out there and snatch this road W. There we go. See this? Yeah, we're up in the game this year. Shout out to T-Moss. Appreciate you, T-Moss. Nunya, business play of the day. Ohio State, money line at Minnesota. TCU at Houston over 129.5. Okay. All right. Nasty Nate's wild. Nasty Nate and I had a conversation about shutting down the bullshit. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us. T-Moss, we appreciate you. Thank you, T-Moss. Grambling Prairie View, moneyline parlay on my card, says Morgan Spooner. That's what I got for you guys tonight. That's the card. Short and sweet to the point. Let's see if we can't make some cash here. Let's make this money. Let's have a big Monday. Let's build it into Tuesday and just keep this thing rolling here. Well, again, we'll have First Strike popping out for you guys on Wednesday. Then we'll roll in. We'll have the Thursday night live stream. We got Penn State, Notre Dame, the semifinal playoffs, and the huge Saturday. UFC is back. Fight night. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for it, as have I. We just make a ton of cash, and I'm hoping that carries forward in the new year. Appreciate you guys watching. On the way out the door, if you haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. And we'll be back tomorrow for pre-gaming at 6 p.m. You catch my guy Ramon Scott at 9 a.m. Good luck with your bets tonight. Have a great night. Be safe, be sound. Stay warm. It's cold out there. Get that cash. Hit that thumbs up.